Yes, everyone, switch on your videos. And by everyone, I mean everyone. Today, no one will have their videos switched off until I ask you to do so. Okay? Yes, switch on your videos, everyone, quickly. Let's not waste time. Mariam, Alvina, switch on your videos. And no one will switch off their videos. Okay? If you feel like you want to switch off the video, you can leave the class. For 1 hour, keep your videos switched on. This is to everyone. Come on, quickly, switch on your video so that I can start your class. All right. So in the previous class, we had discussed about the various kinds of plants, like tissues of the plants, and we saw the complex permanent tissue, right? Now we'll move on to the animal tissues. From here, we'll start with the animal tissues. Now see, talking about the animal tissues, it has been divided into these types, right? The animal tissues, they are majorly of 4 types. We have epithelial tissue, we have connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. So the various kinds of tissues that we are going to study would come under each of these broader categories. Either it will be epithelial or it will be connective, muscular, or nervous. Now we'll start with the epithelial tissue for first. We'll see all the various kinds of epithelial tissue, the locations where they are present in, the functions they perform, every single thing we are going to see. Now that is for all of the tissues. But right now we're going to start with epithelial tissue. Now see, the epithelial tissue, it is the outermost protective tissue. Okay. First of all, before we talk about the epithelial tissue, students, tell me the difference between covering and lining. Do you people know the difference?
Lining is just a thin, and then covering is like full, like whole.
Lining is thin and covering is full and whole. But what
I
is the difference in between them? Both of them are layers, right? Hmm. So when will you call a layer as a covering and when will you call a layer as a lining? This is my question. No one? See. For example, if anything, any layer is present on the outermost areas, okay, on the outer areas, we'll call that as covering. But if the layer is present towards the inner side of any structure, then we call it as the lining of a structure. For example, I have drawn here the stomach. Okay, this is a very rough picture of a stomach. Now here, if you're going to see the white line, the part that will surround on the outermost area, that will be the covering. Whereas here towards the inner side, meaning if anything is present towards the inner side of the layer of the stomach, we'll call it as lining. Do you people understand the difference between cover and lining today?
yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. If both of them are layers, if the layer is present on the outer side, then that is a covering. And if it is present towards the inner side, then that becomes a lining. This is the major difference in between them. And why am I teaching you this covering and lining? Because here in the tissue chapter, there are variety of animal tissues that are covering the organs or covering the body. And then there are also many tissues that do not cover but line the organs. So you should know where the tissue is lining and where is it covering the cells or organs or any structure of our body. Now, in terms of epithelial tissue, so the covering or protective tissues, they are known as epithelial tissues. The most prime, you can say, importance or the prime function of the epithelial tissues are it's to provide protection wherever it is present. It doesn't matter if it is present as a covering or present as a lining. The most important function that the epithelial tissue does is the providing protection or covering. Now, the epithelium, it covers most of the organs, like all of the organs that are there in our body. It is covered by an epithelium. And simultaneously, the epithelium lines the body cavity. It lines the body cavity, meaning a layer of epithelium is present towards the inner parts of the body cavity. So, that is there, you can say, in terms of presence or the location. Now, the epithelial tissues are present and it covers the whole entire body. Talking about the features of the epithelial tissue, so they are tightly packed and they do not, and since they are tightly packed, so they do not have intercellular spaces present in them. Okay, they do not have intercellular spaces present in them. And one more thing. Tell me, students, if any layer, it doesn't matter whichever layer we're talking about, I'm just talking about a layer. Now, for the layer to allow the substances to pass through it, what does it have to be? How will a layer allow any substance to pass through? Tell me.
It will have some kind of opening.
It will have some kind of
Opening?
opening. Okay, so in a general term, we can say that that particular layer will be permeable, isn't it? It will permit the molecules to pass through. It will allow them to pass. Do you people remember plasma membrane?
Yes.
Plasma membrane was permeable, right?
Yeah.
It was permeable.
Plasma membrane.
Hmm? Was it permeable? Say, was it permeable? What about the others? You people can also talk in the class. Tell me, Abdul Kavi, you tell me, is the plasma membrane permeable? What do you think?
Semi-permeable, like selectively.
Yes. The plasma membrane is not permeable. See, anything that is permeable, it means that it allows everything to come in, everything to go out. But plasma membrane is not that, right? It is selectively permeable in nature. It selectively allows the molecules to come in. But when we talk about the epithelial cells, they are permeable. They will allow most of the things to come in, to go out. The best example is of alveoli. See, alveoli, they are balloon-like structures that are found inside our lungs. So what happens is that whenever we breathe in, right, whenever we inhale, then the oxygen goes from the nose into the trachea, into the this thing, the bronchi, and ultimately it goes inside the lungs where in the alveoli. So alveoli is the part wherein the oxygen from the alveoli diffuses into the blood and the CO2 from the blood comes into the alveoli. So exchange of gases is taking place, right? And this exchange of gas is taking place because the alveoli has epithelial tissue present in it. Because of the presence of epithelial tissue, the alveoli is able to to do the exchange of gases. Any doubts up until now, students?
No.
Clear to you all?
Yes.
Okay. The rest of the students that are not responding, okay, I get it. Don't unmute yourself. At least nod. Your videos are on, so at least nod so that I can see that, okay, you people have understood. Do something in the class. You people are sitting like, what do you call it? You people are sitting like paintings. It feels like I'm just seeing a picture of you all. Do something in the class. At least smile. At least nod your head. Am I punishing you? Hmm? No, right? I'm not punishing anyone, right? Is anyone scared of me? Hmm? Is anyone scared of me? No, you're not scared of me. You're not scared of your teacher. Oh, that's sad. Okay, students, the only purpose is that do something in the class. It's okay if you don't know the answer. Fine with it. At least don't sit like this. I feel like I am forcefully saying like, read, understand, listen, be attentive, okay, everyone. And Abdul Kavi, please smile. Are you able to listen to me? Yes or no? Is my students, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Abdul, am I audible to you? I think his internet connection is not that good. Am I audible to you, Abdul? You can unmute and speak. All right. Anyway, moving forward. So I was talking about the epithelial tissue, wherein I said that the epithelial tissue will allow the transport of substances across it. Now, the epithelial tissue is of the following types, right? We have a wide variety of epithelial tissues in our body. The first one is squamous epithelium. See, all of their structures, the functions, and the locations are different. Okay? All of them are different from each other. None of them are same. So, uh, the first kind, the most common kind of epithelium in our body is squamous epithelium. Then there is stratified epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, then there is ciliated columnar epithelium and glandular epithelium at the end. So these are the various kinds of epithelial tissues that you can find in our body. Now, after this, like after we have classified the different kinds of epithelial tissue, what we are going to do, we are going to see the characteristic of each one of them. We're going to see where are they located. Like every tissue in our body has a very unique and a specific location, which is unique to every tissue. Then apart from that, what happens, we'll have to see the functions. Like, okay, we see that the location wherever they are present in, now what are they doing in that particular location? All of these things we'd see. Any doubts up until now, students?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so now you people do one thing. You people note down till here. First you write down this thing, and then we'll move forward and talk about the types. Now, while you're noting things down, you can switch off your video, but when I'll start teaching, you'll have to switch it on.
Done.
Everyone is done?
No.
Okay, okay. Take your time. It's all right.
Finished, ma'am.
Done.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone was done, right? Hmm?
Yes.
Done.
I'm not done.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Done.
Done, ma'am.
Can you scroll a bit up? I didn't finish it. Yeah, done. Done.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done? Students, all of you are done?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, furthermore, we'll talk about the function and everything of each of the different kinds of tissues that we have studied up until now. Just one second. Students, tell me one thing. You people in your, you can say the last class, what did I teach you in the last class? Before this?
Uh, Tropic and nastic movement.
Tropic and nastic movements, right?
Yep.
Yeah, tropic and nastic movement.
Oh. Okay, so this much is clear to you all? Any doubts? All right, in the tropic and nastic movement, was everything written down by you all? Did you note down the examples? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so did you people have any doubts in that?
No.
Okay, just give me 1 second, students. See, the part that I have taught you today is sort of like the tissue intro that you people should know. Okay, but you know, students, that is not there in your syllabus. Okay, so why did no one pointed that to me? Hmm? No one said that, ma'am, it's not there in our syllabus. Why?
Which part?
The tissues part that I was teaching you right now,
I
it's
did
not
not
there
know.
in. Hmm?
I didn't know.
You didn't know. What about others? You people also did not know?
Miss, I actually realized, but I I was scared to say.
You should have said something, students. I was like not
Miss, I
supposed to
didn't know
teach.
which lesson we were doing. So
Hmm?
I didn't know which lesson we were doing. I thought this was some other lesson we started. We finished control and coordination.
No one stopped me in the middle. I was like teaching full on like that epithelial tissue and everything. That's not for you. Okay, so we had completed life processes and we had completed control and coordination. Oh God, I'm so shocked that no one told me that it's not for you. Even I was like constantly teaching that thing. Okay, anyway, let's like knowledge is never wasted. So now you people know everything about epithelial tissue. Might not be asked in your exam, but still you people know it. Now, coming on to here. Yes, Zainab?
The epithelium tissues and all were there last year.
Yeah, that is what I just had like a ninth class, like before you people right now. That is why that was open. So I was like, I asked you, and even I didn't pay attention, and none of you stopped. None of you said that, ma'am, this is not there in our syllabus list. Okay, anyway, so that's all right. Let us talk, let's do the revision of life processes. Okay, we'll do the revision for life process. Does anyone have any doubts in the control and coordination part? Yes or no? No? Yes? Anything?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
you told that you'll take a backup class for me for that, but then last time no one came during the backup class. So
For
you just
life
can't.
processes.
Your voice is really low.
For life processes chapter.
Yes, you didn't take it for me. You
Okay, your backup classes will be arranged accordingly. Okay, so let's start it today only. Okay. Now, talking about life processes. See, the whole entire, I am still so shocked that no one stopped. The whole entire process or the activity that happens in our body, right? That helps us to live, that helps us to stay alive, helps us to maintain our life. Those things are known as the life processes. Okay, all of those variety of processes that take place inside us. Now, to maintain life processes, we require energy, right? To do any kind of work, whether it is breathing, whether it is walking, eating, or anything in general, you require energy to do so, right? And where do you get energy from, students?
glucose,
Hmm?
From
glucose.
food.
Glucose, but yeah, you're right. But in a general term, where do you get your energy? From the food that you eat, isn't it? Like you're feeling starved, you're feeling tired, and then you eat something and you feel good. You feel like energized, right? Until and unless you eat a lot of it and then you feel lethargic. But when you eat in moderation, you feel energetic. So basically, the food that we eat provides us with the energy that we require for life processes, to maintain our life, to sustain our life, right? And we require nutrition. Now, if we talk about the single celled organism, those organisms that just have one cell in their body, so in them, the nutrition will take place by simple diffusion, right? Simple diffusion, meaning what will happen here? That according to the concentration gradient, the food substances will move either from the high and like from the high to the low concentration area. So, but that is for single cell organism because they don't have proper machinery. They don't even have organs, right? They just have one cell in their body. And with that one cell, what they do? They have to do every single thing with that one cell that they are having in their body. But now, when we talk about us, meaning the multicellular organisms, so we know that multicellular organisms, they have a wide variety of different kinds of cells, different kind of tissues, right? You people saw right now epithelial tissue and the various kinds of tissues also. So the kinds of tissues that are present, they make the organ, then the organ systems are made, right? So we have this system or this property called as division of labor, right? With the help of which we can actually do variety of things in our body. And in our body, because of the presence of the organ system, the different organ systems have different functions they have to perform, right? The digestive system is there wherever digestion is concerned, respiratory system, then there is this thing, circulatory system. All of these various kinds of systems are there in our body. Now, when we talk about the nutrition aspect, because we have to get the energy, so we like take the nutrition. So, what is nutrition? It is the process of obtaining food for health and for growth, right? We eat food for that only, to stay healthy and also to grow. Now, nutrition, it is broadly of two types.
Ma'am,
Autotrophic, yes.
won't it be obtaining food and utilizing it?
Hmm?
Won't the definition be like obtaining food and utilizing it?
Yes, yes, you utilize it also, correct?
So like writing only obtaining food won't cut our marks?
No, it won't.
Okay.
It won't. You can modify your answer, but this is the basic thing, right? You can add things accordingly, and none of like your marks will not get cut for this.
Okay.
Now, talking about the nutrition, so it is broadly of two types: autotrophic mode of nutrition, and there is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, autotrophic mode of nutrition is that kind of a nutrition wherein the organism, it doesn't only mean only the plants, right? The organism, that is why I'm saying the organism like it's capable of making or synthesizing its own food. That is what autotrophic mode of nutrition means, right? Autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, here the organisms cannot make their own food, so they have to be dependent on the autotrophs for the food requirement, either directly or indirectly. Now, when we talk about the first kind, that is the autotrophic mode of nutrition, the word auto means self. So, the kind of nutrition wherein the organism can synthesize their own food is autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, this kind is present in all the green plants. Remember, green plants. There are variety of colors in the plants, right? But out of them, only and only the green plants can do photosynthesis or can do the autotrophic mode of nutrition. And along with them, there are some bacteria that can do so. Now, why am I saying green plants only, students? Why only green plants? Why not blue? Why not yellow? Why not purple? Why only and only green?
Has chlorophyll in it.
Correct. Correct. All the plants that are green in color, they are green because they have chlorophyll present in them, right? And what is the function of chlorophyll? Okay, we understand that for photosynthesis to happen, chlorophyll is very necessary, right? But do you people know what does it do? Like, why is it necessary?
It absorbs sunlight.
Very good. Chlorophyll does the process. It is so important because this is the only pigment that can absorb the sunlight and convert it into, like, the light energy gets converted into chemical energy. And that is done by the chlorophyll molecule. No other molecule can do it. So that is why if we had chlorophyll in our body, maybe we would have been able to make our food also, right? But we don't have that. So now, autotrophic mode of nutrition is further of two types. There is photosynthesis and then there is chemosynthesis. Now, this depends on the substrate or the source of energy. The division into two types, it is based off of the source of energy. For example, if we talk about photosynthesis, the word photo means light. The word synthesis means to make something, right? So, photosynthesis is when the food is made in the presence of light. The source of energy here becomes the light energy. Clear? Then there is chemosynthesis. The word chemo means chemical, synthesis means to make something. So, when the source of energy are certain chemical molecules or certain inorganic substances like elements, sulfur, potassium, magnesium, any inorganic substance. So then that kind of a autotrophic mode of nutrition is known as chemosynthesis. So do you see here? I've arrowed bacteria as being chemosynthesizers. So bacteria, they do not have chlorophyll. Okay. So what they do, they use certain chemicals to make their food. Now again, remember that some bacteria, see I've written some here. So as a thumb rule, remember this, that not all the bacteria can make their own food. There are some species, there are some groups, only they can do that, right? Now, when we talk about photosynthesis, so almost I think everyone knows the basic definition of photosynthesis, right? The process by which the green plants will make their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll, and that is what we call as photosynthesis. What is the end product of photosynthesis?
Carbon, oxygen.
end product of oxygen is one of the product, but what is the main product of photosynthesis?
Glucose.
Glucose. Glucose is the food of the plant. This is what they are synthesizing. Using CO2, water, sunlight, chlorophyll, they are making what? They are making glucose. Glucose is C6H12O6, right? 6 molecules of carbon. Then hydrogen molecules are 12 in number, and then there is oxygen molecule 6 in number. So that is glucose, which is a carbohydrate. Do you people remember that carbohydrates are energy giving food? So now let us look at the reaction. So 6 molecules of CO2 along with 12 molecules of H2O, and whenever anything is written on top of the arrow or below the arrow, it means that it is happening in the presence of that thing, right? Understand this thing. So 6 molecules of CO2 along with 12 molecules of H2O in the presence of chlorophyll and in the presence of sunlight, what do we get? We get C6H12O6, that is glucose. Along with that, we also get 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of oxygen. And this oxygen is actually known as a byproduct of photosynthesis. Byproduct. Plants do not need oxygen. They only utilize a tiny bit of oxygen, and the rest of the oxygen is liberated out into the world. And who utilizes oxygen? Correct. We do. Animals do, right? We use oxygen for breathing. So it is a byproduct for the plants. They don't need it in much bigger quantity, but as humans, we do. And animals also do. Now, just like how whenever we make food in the kitchen, like we make it, and is it like that? For example, there is like a, what do you call it? A saucepan. You're making something in it, and as soon as you're done making it, you'll eat all of it. Does that happen? No, you eat some of it, right? The family members eat some of it, and then the rest of that gets stored, isn't it? So, same way, the plants, like when they make the glucose molecule, they don't use all of it, they store it also. So the plant store the food product in the form of starch. Starch is the reserve food material of the plant. Always remember this. The reserve food material of the plant is starch. What is the reserve food material for animals? Hmm? It starts with a G.
Glycogen.
Glycogen. Glycogen is the reserve food material for animals. Okay, you should know that. It has no significance to photosynthesis, but it is a knowledge that all of you should know. Any doubts up until now? Anything you people want to ask me? Now we'll be talking about the process of photosynthesis and how does it take place. See, when we talk about photosynthesis, we know that it is a light driven process, meaning if light will not be there, then photosynthesis will not take place, right? Now, you might have performed that experiment also in school wherein you keep a plant in dark and then you keep it in sunlight and you observe the leaf color. You've done that? No? Okay, it's okay.
No.
Okay. Now, talking about the process of photosynthesis. See, the photosynthesis has been broadly divided into 3 stages or 3 steps. This is how it happens and this is the sequence. The first thing, the initiation part starts with absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll molecule, right, which is the green colored pigment of the plant. And then this light energy gets converted into chemical energy, right? Light energy is getting converted into chemical energy, and simultaneously, what is happening? The water molecule is splitting to give us hydrogen and oxygen. What is the chemical formula for water?
H2O.
H2O, right? So it is made up of 2 molecules of H, meaning hydrogen, and 1 molecule of oxygen, right? So if it is made up of 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen, that means that if you break down water, then it will give you hydrogen and oxygen. Correct? So I'll tell you why that is important and why that is significant. But for now, just understand that the light energy is getting converted into chemical energy. And simultaneously, the water molecule is splitting into hydrogen and oxygen molecule. And the last step, the carbon dioxide gets reduced to the carbohydrate, the glucose. Clear? So this is what the process of photosynthesis looks like, how it happens in a nutshell. It is a very compact explanation to it. Okay. Now the second one, wherein we talk about the splitting of water, I'll teach you why it happens and what is the significance of this. This is very important. Okay. So I'll teach you why it happens and what is the significance of this. So tell me if you have any doubts up until now, students. Okay, this much is clear to you all, right? How many of you are studying this chapter for the first time by me? Like, am I teaching like to whom? And not able to form sentences now. You people understood what I'm asking, right? Okay, Zainab. Anyone else who's learning this for the first time? Junaid, I've taught you life processes.
Yeah.
Then why aren't you saying anything?
Wait, you said who did you already? What did you say again?
See, you don't listen to me. That is what you
I
have
heard
been
you say,
doing.
wait, I heard you say, who did you not teach life processes? You taught
No,
me life processes.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was the question only.
that was the question. I heard the opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the question.
you meant like the ones who did not learn it from
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I
Like
learned
who
it. I
was?
learned it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, Mariam, you're wanting to say something?
No, but I also learned it from.
Okay. So all of you have except for Zainab. Only Zainab has, right? Okay. That's all right. Now, since you people like will be in the class, don't skip the classes, okay? Since now we are aiming the classes to be according to your exam, right? All of you have your exams coming. So we are going to study and learn in such a way that when you see the question, you only smile and obviously write the answer, not just smile and waste your time, but that you will see the questions and like, I already know this, I know the answers. So I am expecting full marks from all of you, right? Should I expect that or not? Should I expect that, students? Hmm. Because all of you have to update your marks once you get it from your school. So we'll see. And I really know that all of you will do very well. So we are strategizing our, you can say, learning method according to the exam. We'll do every kind of concept clearing. Now it is your job also. You have to go through the chapter, like control and coordination is done and dusted, right? All of you will open your NCRT books, read the lines, every single line. You will not skip any line. And if you have any doubts, you'll come to me with it. You will solve questions and see once the life processes chapter is done.